Welcome back. Well, if you're just tuning in, then the news overnight is the U.S. markets ended higher. You had crude oil prices that cooled off, and the yields as well cooled off a wee bit. Well, let's focus on a couple of stocks, though, in this sort of a backdrop. We have Hemang Jani, market expert, who joins us on the show. Hi, Hemang. Let's talk about the big fall in crude oil prices first up itself. Some of these paint companies, because they have their input cost as crude derivatives, they've been under some pressure. Do you see them bounce back from year on, given the sharp drop that we've seen in the last 3 sessions in crude?
Yeah, good morning, Nigel. I think surely the cool off in the crude oil price has been a relief for the market as well as some of the companies, paints, tire, and many other companies where the crude oil is the raw material. But what is very important, Nigel, to understand is that the prices need to really stabilize at a certain level where one can really get a little bit of comfort. Because when you see the swings or the volatility, I don't think that by itself is going to give any direct benefit to the paint companies per se. So my take is that let's watch out for the quarterly updates, what sort of volume growth these companies report, and once we have a slightly more color on the oil price, that is when we should really take a view on the paint companies. So in the meantime, I think one should take a little bit of a cautious stance at this point of time. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Macrotech Developers is another stock in focus. The Q2 business update has come through. It's flashing for you on the screen. It's not bad, actually. The collections have gone up 16%. Pre-sales are up 12%. But I think what the street will definitely like is the fact that the debt of the company has come down substantially. Hemang, hi, good morning. The entire real estate space is doing very well, whether it's Macrotech, Soba just came out with their numbers a while back too, Prestige has been doing well. From this entire lot, anything that you like from a long-term standpoint?
Overall, outlook on the real estate sector continues to be positive. It's very remarkable to understand is that despite the higher interest rates, we haven't really seen any slowdown in the new sales or the overall excitement which is there in the sector. And the new project pipeline also continues to look good. So I think Lodha, DLF, some of the Bangalore-based companies like Brigade, Prestige, I think these are the names where we continue to have a positive bias.
Continue to have a positive bias there. What about, hi Hemang, good morning. Names like Suzlon, we don't talk about, but it's done very well, right? Almost 28 rupees now, and it was up 5% in a down market yesterday. The story is real. The government said they want to add, the stated aim is to add 10 gigawatts of, wind power capacity every year annually. And Suzlon, I remember speaking with a company saying that before, the entire thing went into a bit of a tizzy, they used to have a 30% share annually. The market seems to want to believe that good days are back again. What would you do here?
Yeah, so Prashant, typically, these kind of companies will do well in a certain phase or when a theme is playing out well, where some people want to put a small allocation towards high beta, names. And the company also has done a reasonably good job in terms of repairing the balance sheet, getting fresh money. There are some real good, credible investors who have come into the company. So from a tactical point of view, when you see the, this entire solar story playing out well, people would want to participate. But given the track record of the company and how, it has disappointed on many occasions, now that it has already run up, I think we would stay away from it at this point.
Okay, welcome back. There's 13 minutes to go for the pre-open session. The GIFT Nifty is indicating a 35-point higher start. Hemang Jani is still with us with what he's making of things. Hemang, you saw that news on the massive price cuts on pizzas, Jubilant FoodWorks. Any thoughts on Jubilant FoodWorks? Huge underperformer, but this QSR space itself has been doing pretty poorly over the last few years. There is this World Cup upon us, and that I think should give a bit of a boost to the space, but what's your sense?
Yes, so Prashant, surely this price cut has come as a bit of a negative surprise, given the challenges that the companies are facing from the smaller players, particularly in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. But I think the fact of the matter is that this entire space is actually growing at a very, very good space. And even if they take a price cut, the fact is that the operating profit margins would continue to be very high. So I think as long as the volume growth and operating margin picture remains reasonably good, one should not get too negative on the space because of the huge opportunity ahead of us, whether it's World Cup, festive season, and the overall story which is there. So both Jubilant, Devyani, we continue to have a positive bias.
Oh, Hemang Jani is still with us, so let's get some thoughts from him going. So, since we're talking about a lot of the macro cues, Hemang, I wanted your thoughts on how you would approach this fall in crude. Because a lot of companies, right, Asian Paints, for example, has 55% of its costs comes from crude. So it's a big beneficiary of this fall that we're seeing. Would you buy any of these stocks, either paint companies, aviation, tire companies now?
Yeah, so Sonia, I think big relief, because of the way the price had shot up. Surely it would have, impact on the economy, the sentiment, and of course the specific companies like paints, tires, and so on and so forth. The question is how long, the prices remain at elevated level. Do we see big volatility or the gradual decline? I think that would be a larger, issue to deal with. And in the meantime, I think what we should do is we should really watch out for the quarterly numbers, particularly paint companies, tire companies, and then take a call as to really whether it makes sense to go for it or not. I think might be a knee-jerk reaction or a little bit of temporary respite, but I'm not looking at this in a major way.